Alright, hey, HadesOmega here, and this is the after-action review for the Santa Clara Indoor Short Track Races, alright, at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds in Santa Rosa. Alright, this was HadesOmega's flat track racing debut, okay? It's the first time I've ever raced flat track, well, indoor flat track, right? And it's a short track, so basically it's an oval, and you go around and you in a left turn. It's kind of like the NASCAR of motorcycles, sort of, kind of. But it's like really short. All right. By the time you're able to get on the throttle, you got to turn again. It's pretty nuts, man. So you might be asking yourself, hey, HadesOmega, why you got some tape on your boots? Why you got some tape on your boots? And why is your rear fender broken? And then, like, why do you have tape on your foot pegs, all right? And then why is your brand new racing suit all scuffed up already? Yeah, so you'll find that out in this after-action review, all right? All right, so after-action review is what was supposed to happen, what really happened, and things we could do to improve, all right? So I'll tell you, I was like a super noob, all right? I don't know anything to do with, like, flat track, right? Except I know that, like, yeah, you're supposed to slide the bike and stuff, okay? So yeah, okay. So what we were supposed to do, we're supposed to go to the Santa Rosa indoor short track races and race. I was gonna race. I raced the what's called the Mad Dog class, okay, and that's I think it's a 100 to 150, somewhere like that. I think. So that's the 150cc air-cooled racing class, okay? So it's the mini class, all right, basically. And which is funny because somebody with a 0FX, all right, I'm mentioning the 0FX because this is gonna come into play later in the story. Somebody raced a 0FX in that class, and I was like, man, that bike looks so much bigger than all the other bikes in the class, all right? It's supposed to be a mini bike class up to 150cc, all right? But an FX is like, it's not a Sauron, guys. That's what I say, all right? It's like a full-size motorcycle, and they were racing it in the mini class. Like, it's kind of not fair, you know, if you ask me. And yeah, kind of not safe because it's kind of big, and there's a bunch of little bikes around you. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, we were supposed to go there and race in the Mad Dog class, and we were actually racing for money. So if you actually won in that class, you would win money, all right? And yeah, so I didn't really know what to expect. I just wanted to go there and race. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so that's what was supposed to happen, but, like, I'm going to elaborate. Okay, so here's what really happened. So I loaded everything into my car the night before the race, and I threw the light beat onto my RAV4, and then we headed towards Santa Rosa. All right, so Santa Rosa is about like 2 hours. Yeah, about a 2-hour drive from where I live in San Jose. Not too bad, all right, especially compared to all the other places that I've been going to go racing. Okay. And so here's already the first problem. I'm driving up, and it's dry. It's dry when I leave San Jose, all right. And if you don't know, it's been like snowing and raining and all that stuff. All this crazy weather we've been having, all right. Well, anyway, there was rain, all right. By the time I got past San Francisco, north of San Francisco, it had started raining, all right? It rained pretty hard, sort of, kind of, all right? So the bike got really wet, and I'm like, well, and then I was like, well, you know what? It should be fine, because I did the wet test on the bike, and it ran fine, all right? I mean, it seemed okay, is what I'm going to say. So, and then so I get there, and I download the bike, and then I pay stuff. I pay the entry fee and all that. Yeah, the wristband. I'm still wearing the wristband, all right? And then, yeah, so I get my pit set up. It's pretty nice. It's a fairgrounds, all right, guys? So it's a fairgrounds, and it's indoor. So that's the only way we can race in the wintertime, especially when it's raining and everything. Even if it was raining, they wouldn't have called the race off, all right? So, yeah, and also that's another problem. It's wet out, all right? It's wet. The ground is wet. There's puddles and everything everywhere. So, like, immediately once you put your bike, ride your bike around to to like the indoor racing area, all right, your tires are already all wet and everything, all right. So that, yeah, so we're there. And then, so the next thing I got to do is, so I got to sign up for the race. Like I said, I signed up for Mad Dog. I was thinking of racing in the 230 mod class, and because I race 230s against 230s sometimes, and I was watching those guys race, and I'm like, oh hell no, I don't think we would have done so good against those guys. So I think just racing the Mad Dog class was fine. It was like $75 to race. It was kind of expensive, is what I want to say. And yeah, so practice is gonna start in like an hour ish, and then yeah, so I gotta get the bike tech. So I get the bike over. I bring the bike over to the tech area after I register, and then they're like, oh, you need to put tape around your foot pegs. Okay, so like, yeah, I mentioned the tape on the foot pegs, right? So the reason they want you to put, if you have like really spiky foot pegs, they want you to have rubber foot pegs, all right, like kind of like some stock motorcycles, like street motorcycles have. They have like rubber foot pegs. This one has I have the Bill Faro off-road foot pegs, right? They're really spiky and sharp, so they don't want anything like sharp on the bike because it could hurt somebody, all right, that type of thing. So I taped them up. That's what I did, all right. But like, yeah, I got like sliders and everything, and yeah, all right. And then what else? Oh, the brake. Oh, you might notice that my brake lever, all right, my right brake lever, the front one, is zip tied to my handlebar here. They told me I had to take my lever off because it's cheating if you use the front brake. And so yeah, if you ever look at a flat track bike, okay, guys, look at a flat track bike, and you'll immediately know it's a flat track bike when there's no front brake on it, all right? So I had to take my front brake off, all right? And I was like, okay, no problem. I'll play by your guys' rules. Okay, and then here's another thing, all right? You might notice this thing, my number plate. I got a number plate here and here. Well, I have a triple-digit number plate. For whatever reason, for this race, we had to, I don't know if it's a flat track thing. Do they only use single, double digit? Maybe it's easier to score if it's just only 2 digits. Okay, but yeah. So I'm normally 277. All right, that's my racing number, and they said like, oh, you're gonna have to shorten it to like 2 digits. Can you just cover one of them? So that's what I did. I covered the 2. So now I'm 77. All right. Same thing with this. I put a piece of tape over the 2 and it says 77, all right? Oh, and then another thing. Yeah, so you're in flat track, you drag in your boot, all right? You drag in your left boot, is what I'm going to say. I guess in flat track they go counterclockwise all the time, all right? We always made left turns, all right? That's what I'm going to say. So your left boot, you need to put a piece of carpet or tape, or like in my case I used duct tape, right? I didn't have a piece of carpet with me. I borrowed some duct tape from my buddy Jeremy, and yeah, so and I was just gonna use my toe slider to slide, but I was like, well, everybody else is just so basically you plant your foot on the ground and then you let the bike slide, all right? You're basically using your foot as like a side stand type of thing, all right? And that, that's the flat tracker style, all right? Where you're kind of dragging your foot, all right? Instead of dragging knee, you're dragging feet, all right? And then so this lets you, and so there's another purpose. You want it to slide, all right? You don't want it to catch the rubber, or else, like, yeah, it would be bad if it caught the surface and then it gets pulled back. You want it to slide, all right? So to make it slide, what you can do is put a piece of carpet on the bottom, or just wrap it up with duct tape like I did, all right? So that's what I did with my boot. All right, so this is some kind of flat tracking 101, all right? This is stuff I just learned. Like I've done some researching about it and stuff, but like, yeah, this is my first time actually doing it, and this is what they told me to do, okay? So I brought the 2 batteries, and they were like fully charged, and I have a new whatchamacallit, man. I have a new inverter on my I installed an inverter on my RAV4 Prime, and I was gonna use it to run the to run the tire warmers, and it didn't work. Right? Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about finish talking about the tech. Yeah. So that was it, and then yeah. So HadesOmega was good to go to race. And then I'm looking at everybody's bikes, and I'm like, hey, everyone has got like flat tracker tires, or no one is running a slick tire. No, nobody has slick tires. I was like, what the heck? Am I the only one with slicks? I'm running the Dunlop Moto 3 slicks on my Sauron. All right, that's pretty much the most sticky tire you can get for your Sauron. All right, guys, and yeah, so I was like, man, I wish I kind of wish I brought my street tires. I probably would have been better with the street tires. I don't know, but it was okay. They worked good. All right, I'll tell you about it later when we actually rode on it. All right. Okay. So yeah, my plan was to use the tire warmers and then take it inside, and so I can get some heat on the tires so it would grip better. And then, so how did that work out, HadesOmega? After the first couple races and the practices and stuff, I just said, forget it, man. It's too much of a hassle to go put them on the warmers, because the races are really fast. All right, you go through the races real fast, and you're not out there very long. All right, and it's like you start your bike up really quick, and then you go race. That sounds like it's really bad for a motor, an engine. Not a motor, but an engine, right? I don't think an electric bike really care about that, but like, yeah, a gas bike, yeah, I think so. All right, so this is the battery I use. I charged up both of them all the way, and guess what? This still has 93% charge. So we hardly went anywhere. I didn't even track my miles, guys. The track was like so short. I'm not shitting you, man. It's probably like 50, maybe like 100 feet. Maybe not 50 feet, but like 100. It was like 100-foot track or something. All right. Is that like a quarter? No, that's not a quarter mile. It was really short. All right. Anyway, just check out the race videos. You'll see what it's like. All right. You're literally when you're on the straight, you get enough time to just barely wrap the throttle, and then you gotta turn into the turn already. So that's how fast it is. All right, it's crazy. It's pretty short. All right, and I've kind of done a race like this before at Streets of Willow. I had to do it was like a rectangle sorta, and I raced against in the adult mini class in that little thing. So, but anyway, so the rain. All right, so I think the rain messed my bike up, all right? So the bike was all wet. I didn't have the battery in it, all right? Maybe I should have left the battery in. I didn't want to leave the battery outside because I didn't want it to get cold, all right? You don't want your battery to get cold. You want to keep it warm, okay? Batteries perform better when they're warm. So, I mean, that maybe could have happened. It was very cold, guys. It had to be like in the 40s, all right, 40s and 50s. The sun did come out for a little while and it dried stuff, but like, yeah, it was really wet in the morning, so it sucked, man. And then you had to be careful walking inside, going outside the inside, because you would track water in there, and if you got water on the track, it's slippery. They have to constantly clean up the track if anything kind of spills on the track. And these gas bikes, man, they're dropping all sorts of shit on the pavement, man. There's like oil, fuel, coolant, you name it, man. They're just, everyone is just cleaning. In my opinion, you know, I think the future of indoor flat track is right here, man. Electric bike. The electric bike is the perfect flat track bike, man. You don't have to worry about gearing or anything. You just twist it and go. You don't have. Oh, okay. Here's another thing I learned about indoor flat track. You will get exhaust poisoning. All right, you'll get exhaust poisoning from being inside that room and them racing. All right, all the smoke and the fumes from these race bikes. Oh my God, they're so bad. Like you know what? To tell you the truth, I don't mind the smell of the two-strokes. I kind of like the smell of two-stroke. but everything else, oh my God, it was so bad. Like your eyes would burn, and there was a smog inside. It gets smoggy, like it looks like there's a fog in there, but yeah, that's the exhaust gas. You're breathing that in. It's really bad, dude. I'm telling you, indoor flat track is kind of crazy, guys. Like all I can say is like it's it's like you better cowboy up, man. It's that type of thing, all right? Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I will try like a dirt track. I think I want to try a dirt track, but short track, I'm not so sure about. But I did have a lot of fun. Okay, so anyway, so how the bike rode, all right? So when I turn the bike on, I give it throttle, it dies right away. I was like, what the hell? This bike was running fine like the last time I rode it. All right, I rode it at the motocross, I rode it at the off-road park and it was fine. All right, and then no cutoffs and anything. And now it's cutting out. I'm like, what the hell, dude? This bike, it just never runs properly anymore. I got a new controller and motor. And I thought I fixed his wet issues, man. But if it gets wet, it still runs like doo-doo, all right? So I don't know, man. But like I said, I did the wet test. I wet the bike to see if it still runs on itself, and it passed, all right? However, I didn't really ride it, all right? Maybe that's what I should have done. I should have soaked the bike up and then rode it and see if it still rides, all right? But anyway, yeah, the bike was doing some weird stuff. I was looking at the voltmeter on the bike, and it was like, it said it was like 80% or something. I was like, how could it be 80%? We didn't really go anywhere. This was after the first practice, so and we should still have a pretty high charge. I was like, damn, that ate up power pretty fast. And then I see the voltage like going up. It's like rising like slowly. I was like, what the hell? It's not supposed to do that. What's going on with my bike, man? So I don't know, man. Maybe something got wet in it. All I can say is, man, water and electric motorcycle, they don't mix. Don't get your electric bike wet, guys, okay? I've already ruined one electric bike by getting it wet, and not this one, all right? And yeah, I mean, like my other, I think my BAC controller, I think I ruined it by getting it so wet. Like I raced it in a wet race, and after that wet race, it was never the same again, you know, type of thing. So I don't know, man. It's supposed to be IP something certified, but I don't know, man. This KO Moto controller is not, you know, after today, I'll tell you, I'm not feeling it, man. I still not, it's still unproven type of thing, all right? I'm not happy with it, all right? So, okay, so here's what happens. Yeah, the bike isn't running very good, all right, apparently. And so I kind of missed the first practice. I got like a lap in for the first practice. Like literally they let you on the track and you have enough time to do maybe 3 or 4 laps, and that's it. That's the end of your practice. I'm like, damn, that's it? And then, well, we did that. We got to do that twice. So the second practice, I was able to get some good laps in. I got 4 whole laps, and it is pretty crazy, guys. So you have to kind of balance the bike between grip and sliding, all right? Gripping and drifting, all right? You want it to drift, all right? Because it points you in the right direction, all right? So and HadesOmega is just kind of, you know, I'm trying to grip it, sort of. I'm trying to apex the turns and stuff, and yeah, so all right. So the first race comes along, and I don't do so good. Okay, I take off. The bike doesn't die, so that's good. And then and off we go. And it doesn't seem like this bike takes off very fast from the line. I'm gonna have to practice launching it, you know, but. Yeah, I don't know what it is. This bike does not take off very fast from a hole shot, man. Like it's got no power like at 0 RPM is what I'm gonna say. You would think like when you twist it, it would just go right away, but it doesn't. All right, the BAC controller, when I twist it, it goes. All right, it goes really fast, type of thing. This one, no, it just kind of like a delay and then it picks up. All right, that's not good. I'd imagine wait. I can't wait to take this thing to the drag strip and see how slow it is on the takeoff. All right, it might be fast when it gets up to speed. So, but yeah, all right. So yeah, the bike is pretty fast, and I'm I'm practicing sliding it around a little bit, and yeah. So I actually, another thing I didn't do is if I came the day before, there was a practice. All right, so they actually had a practice. I didn't know there was a practice the day before. And I probably should have came and practiced before the race, all right? Because I had no idea what I was doing, guys. Okay, I have a good I mean I have a good idea of how to slide the bike and how to do the flat tracking style. Okay, I practice it. Okay. I know if the front starts to slide, you kind of wiggle the handlebars a little bit, and you goose the throttle, and then and that lets the back slide, and the front and the back start sliding. You know, you gotta kind of like talk to the tires type of thing. They have to give you feedback. All right. And you also have to keep your weight to the front of the bike, all right, which is difficult to do on the Sora because you get this freaking battery tray here. You're literally where you're supposed to sit is on the like at least the back part of the battery tray, right? And you gotta counter steer and get your elbow up, you know, when you're doing the thing, all right, and then stick your leg out, right? That's a flat tracking style, all right. And HadesOmega actually practices it already. So yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing, sort of, kind of. So yeah, on the first race, I think I saw we're off. I think I'm on the outside, or no, I think it was in the first place position, and we go, and these guys get in under me, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, I have to either follow them, go on the outside, and I'll be slower, or I'll wait for them to pass me. So I wait for them to pass me, and then I cut inside, and I gun it, you know, and I try to kind of drag race them, and that didn't work. Okay, guys? And then yeah, and then we raced, and man, those guys were fast. I couldn't keep up with them. There were some fast guys in that class, and I think we got dead last, all right. Oh, no, we didn't get dead last. I think somebody crashed in front of me. That's what happened. Yeah, somebody crashed in front of me, so I didn't get dead last. I think I actually got almost dead last. All right, second to last, type of thing. Okay. Yeah, everyone was just so fast, man. And mind you, I'm racing these little bikes, these little mini bikes, man. These mini bikes are super fast, man. Can't believe it. All right, so what? And then so the second race. Yeah, so there's multiple races. There must have been, I think there was like 5 Mad Dog races, all right? So what happens when there's a lot of bikes on the grid, they split it up into a bunch of little races, and then that determines your place on the grid, sort type of thing in the final race, all right? Well, it's kind of becomes like a tournament bracket type thing. So like if you keep on losing races, you're not going to advance, all right, type of thing. All right, it's not like a Supermoto or, well, I mean, I guess they could do it in Supermoto, but like they'll just have a heat race and then the main race. All right, the heat race is kind of like you're qualifying for the main race. All right, and yeah, so that's basically what you're doing with the heat races. You're qualifying. You're trying to get your place on the grid. All right, if you're in the front, you're more likely to get a good position. You know, finish the race type of thing. Okay. So I was excited to race this guy with a 0FX. And it turns out this guy he worked at Zero Motorcycles, all right, and where are they? In Scotts Valley, all right. He says he worked there in their factory, and then and he had a 0FX. It was a 2023 0FX, brand new, all right, and he's trying to flat track race it. It looked like he didn't do anything to it, all right. It was an FX, all right. It wasn't an FXS, all right. It wasn't the Supermoto one. Like you probably have more credibility, you know, racing a Supermoto for a flat track race, right? But no, it was a dual sport, all right. You know, a FX is a big bike. It's like, see this DR650 here? Yeah, it's like that size bike, all right, type of thing. All right, I've ridden one before, and it's a pretty good bike. It's type of thing. I wouldn't mind having one, type of thing. But I got the Suron, all right. The Suron's just kind of more of a playful bike, if you ask me, okay. But anyway. Yeah, so I was excited to race against him, and then okay, so man, where am I gridded? I think I'm gridded in the back or something. I can't remember where I was gridded, but yeah, I think I was gridded in the back. Because after the first race, I thought, oh, that's it. Usually after you lose a heat race or something, you get kicked out or something, right? Because like I said, it's like a bracket race, sort of. You're like a tournament bracket. But no, I get to race again. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, you know what? If I get to race again, then let's do it. And then I got to race against that Zero bike. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have an electric bike race. This is gonna be fun. And it wasn't, okay. So here's what happens. The flag goes up, and I twist the throttle and nothing happened. I was like, oh shit, man. Yeah, so like remember, I told you the bike has been having problems all day. Like it's just been cutting out. It hasn't been running. Sometimes the bike beeps. Like you go beep beep beep. You know, normally it's supposed to make one beep and then it runs, right? But no, it was just beep 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 beep. And I'm like, and it just wasn't running. When I twist the throttle, it didn't do anything. So everyone takes off. Boom! All right. I was like, oh shit. Well, I turned the bike on and I turned the bike off and I turned it back on. Nothing. All right. And then so I push it to the center. All right. There's an island in the center, and like that's where the flaggers and everything. You're not supposed to ride there. Okay. I push it in there to get out of the way so I don't get my ass run over. Right. And then I get the bike running, and I was like, well, they've already done like a couple laps already, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just go. So we go. And like, and then like, I'm doing pretty good. Like, the bike is sliding and everything. The front slides, and then I get the back to slide, and we're getting some pretty good speed. HadesOmega's actually starting to get pretty good at this. And then I start to give it more throttle, and the back slips out more. And then I'm sticking my leg out, and we're drifting and everything. So, and then yeah, so and then the race ends. All right, I see the checkered flag. So I see the checkered flag. I was like, oh, that's it, and I roll off. And then the guy in the zero bike plows me. He just fucking plows me, and I go flying, dude. Literally, I went from the finish line to the end. I slid on the ground. All right, the whole way. All right, that's why this is broken. All right, could you imagine? How did this break off? This is like next to the wheel. He had to have hit my wheel. So what I think he did, he kind of like T-boned me. He must have T-boned me, and he hit this, and it broke off. That's the only way I could think this would break off, guys. I've had this stubby fender for a long, long time already, you know, and it's been through a lot of races, and it's never broken off until today. All right, death by Zero motorcycle, man. I'm telling you, dude. And he just plowed me, just out of nowhere. And so the sad thing is, it was the finish. It was the finish line. I had already crossed the finish line, and the race had ended already. We weren't racing anymore, and he hit me. I don't understand that. All right, like right when we came into the turn, he hit me. I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be hitting other people. All right. And I don't know. I talked to him later, and then it's like I don't even think he realized he hit me or anything, you know? He didn't come, you know, if I hit somebody or if I do something bad, like I cut somebody off, like I do a bad pass or something, I find him and I say, hey man, sorry I did that, you know, I didn't do it on purpose, but, you know, and usually people are cool about it. This guy, nothing. Nothing. He didn't even come to look for me. He didn't even come to look to see if I was okay. So here's what happened, all right? He hit me. I went sliding. I'm underneath the bike. Me and the bike are sliding. We're what's called a low side, all right? We did a low side, all right? And I'm under the bike. I'm pinned under the bike, sliding in my new suit. By the way, this is a brand new suit. I have never gone down on pavement, all right, guys? I haven't gone down on pavement like that before, all right? I went pavement surfing is what I did, all right? And so you can see on my suit here, I got all these scuff marks and stuff. This is a brand new race suit that I bought, all right? And the arm here, all scuffed up. It's got battle scars on it already, guys. Okay, I'm sure the handguard got all scuffed up. The front slider got all scuffed up. There's some stuff from the pavement in there, okay? Oh, so if you guys don't know what the pavement is like, it's like a painted pavement, all right? But it's kind of sticky. What makes it sticky is because people ride on it. The more people ride on it, all the rubber from their tires, it gets stuck on it, and it becomes tacky, all right? So there's actually pretty good grip. Even without tire warmers, it still grips pretty well, all right? But there's still a lot of people crash, all right? It's, to tell you the truth, like, yeah, it's pretty dangerous. But you're not going very fast. That's the thing. Yeah, but yeah, you know, you could hit somebody, a bike could fall on you, somebody could run you over. Yeah, man, a lot of crazy stuff could happen. But that's racing, right, guys? But in my opinion, it seems like it happens pretty frequently in this kind of racing, in this indoor flat track racing. It's like, it's so close, you know, you're so close to people, and like, yeah, if you just touch somebody, you know, they'll go down type of thing, or people's bikes just go sliding, you know, and down they go. All right, but you know what? The Sauron did pretty good. All right. But anyway, yeah. So that was that race, and so you know what they did to that guy? They put him dead last. All right. I don't know what place he finished, but they put him last because he hit me. All right. So, like, that was uncalled for. There was no reason to do that. Why would you hit somebody, you know? And especially after the end of the race, it was the finish line. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was racing me or something. He'd already like lapped me or something. There was no point in it. All right. I was like, what the heck? And it's like he didn't care. Like when I talked to him, like, hey, did you know? Like, what happened when you hit me? Like, oh, I didn't see you or something, or blah blah blah. Like he didn't even make an apology or anything. I was like, what the heck, man? I'm like he didn't give a shit. Like yeah, you know, those are the kind of people that you don't want to race with, guys. I'm telling you. Something very similar happened to me in a District 36 hair scramble. Somebody hit me from behind, and my bike got all fucked up and stuff. And yeah, dude. No bueno, dude. And then they didn't come to check on me after the race. Turns out the guy that hit me in that race was like, he was almost the #1 guy in my class. So yeah, I don't know, man. But anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, this guy hit me. There was no reason to hit me, you know. And so they gave, you know, they put him in last place, all right. And then so like I'm like, oh, I'm all bummed, like, oh yeah, I dropped my bike, and I didn't even know my fender was broken. Oh yeah. So okay, so here's what happened. Yeah, I went sliding. All right, whoosh. I literally slid from like the corner entry to outside the track. It's a good maybe like 20 feet. All right, there's like maybe like 20 feet or somewhere around 20 feet from the inside of the track to the outside of the track. It's a pretty wide track, guys. I went sliding, and I think I must have kissed the barrier or something, all right, because they have these like hay bales out there. And then I was just like under the bike, and I was just like, I had this what the fuck kind of face look on me. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Right? What happened? The race ended, and somebody hit me. I don't understand. Like, when the race ends, you stop. You're not racing anymore. You know, you roll off. That's it. You're done, right? But this guy just plowed me. I'm like, man, what the hell, dude? And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And yeah, I was pinned underneath the bike and everything. I was like, it's a good thing it's a Sauron. It's not very heavy. You know, I could have pretty easily lifted it off of myself, but I just kind of laid there on the ground thinking, like, what the hell just happened? What happened? Right? It's like somebody just, you know, you're just driving along and somebody just hits you out of nowhere, you know, type of thing. It's kind of like that, you know. It's uncalled for. Like I can understand if we were racing, but we weren't racing. It was the end of the race already, all right? So yeah, I'm just like, what the hell? What the heck? And I tried to find him after, and he was like missing. I don't know, man. The guy was kind of weird. That's all I'll say, all right? Anyway, yeah, check that video out. I'll have a clip right now.
How did that happen? I was on the street. I don't think he was paying attention.
Okay, yeah, so that's what happened, guys. Okay, so I was kind of bummed, but I was like, am I gonna get a chance to race again? So they have I got to race in a third race, all right? I got to race in what's called a last chance qualifier, all right? So last chance qualifier is like a double elimination type thing, all right? So you get a chance to redeem yourself. So if you win this race, you're gonna move on to the semi-final, I think, all right? No, the final, the main. Yeah. So this is like the semi-final, sort of. All right, but anyway, I think the top 2 racers in this race will get put in the main event. All right, so we're all the kind of the rejects. Okay, the guys that didn't do so good. All right, so yeah, So we're racing, and I'm like, oh man, I hope the bike runs properly. It's like 50-50 whether it's gonna work or not, you know. And sure enough, when the green flag goes up and I twist the throttle, the bike goes. All right, it doesn't go very fast. Okay, so last chance qualifier. I twist the throttle and the bike goes. All right, and I tell myself, don't open the throttle very fast. It might, you know, it might cut out or something. All right, because that's what the ASI controller does. All right. And maybe it might do that with this, but so I open it a little bit. I kind of roll onto it slowly, okay, and off we go. All right, and we're doing okay. I think people. I had passed the zero, I guess. And then like yeah, I was just kind of racing in the pack for a while, and then I was doing great. Like so by the time I think this is what 1, 2, 3. This is like the fourth time. This is the fourth time I've got to go out on the track, and I'm feeling kind of confident in getting the bike sliding and stuff. Sometimes I'll feel the front slide, and so that means you're doing something wrong, HadesOmega. And you got to tell yourself, okay, well, but to correct yourself, you could just give it more throttle, all right, or give it more throttle, counter steer more, stick your leg out more, you know, that type of thing. You're doing something when you're doing one of those things wrong, or you know, just try to, you can do one of those things to correct yourself. All right, so I would wiggle the handlebar and give it more throttle, and then the bike will all slide. I got used to giving it more power and letting it slide, you know, and you know, these tires actually gripped pretty good. These Moto 3 tires, they were actually great for that event. All right, I thought it wasn't going to work very well, but it worked pretty damn well. The slicks worked good. Just because everyone had like rain tires or flat track tires doesn't mean like, yeah, you know. Now in the dirt, maybe I don't want to use these. All right. Okay. So but the sad thing is, the guy in the zero, he passed me. All right. He passed me on the inside, and I couldn't catch up to him, man. It was he just kept on pulling away and pulling away. I don't remember what I got in that race. I know I finished behind the zero, so I mean, well, I guess that dude was a better rider than me, you know. Maybe the FX is probably faster than this. I don't know, man. It shouldn't be. This bike should be really fast, all right. And so yeah, I kind of get the feeling that this controller is just not all that. It doesn't feel all that fast, man. So I don't know. I wasn't impressed by its performance today. Okay, now it could be because the battery was fully charged that it doesn't, you know, that it did this maybe. Maybe it doesn't like having a super full charged battery, because maybe the regen, you know, I don't know, man. But I've been riding it, you know, and it's been running fine. All right, I just want to say I haven't had any like major issues running it until like now. Okay, it did cut off on me on the park once when I twisted the throttle really fast. I'm thinking maybe I gotta get a new throttle. Maybe I should get a new throttle. It could very well be maybe something is wrong with my throttle. So that might be something I might want to replace. All right, because sometimes throttles go bad. All right, maybe this one is bad. Okay, type of thing. All right. But yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in the way the bike performed. All right. And like, yeah, it totally was not set up to do the flat track racing. I thought like, oh damn, I wish I brought like nobody had slick tires, all right, but it was fine. The slick tires were fine. It was great, man. It gripped great. You would be surprised. Like, it doesn't look like it would grip, because it's like you think it's a painted surface and it would just slide, you know. If you've ever driven on like a indoor go-karting track, that's the surface that it was, all right. It was a lot like that, all right. So I want to say the tires make like squealing noises and stuff, and yeah. But yeah, these tires were great. They slid great, you know. Like they talk to you, you know, like, oh, I'm sliding now. I'm sliding now. You know, get on it, you know. And sometimes if you get on it a lot and it steps out a lot, you feel confident knowing that, like, yeah, it's not just gonna let go, you know. Yeah, it gripped pretty good. So I'm really happy with these Moto 3 tires. All right. I think when we do a dirt track, I'm gonna use the Michelin tires though. Okay, my street tires. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of my after action review. That is my indoor flat track, short track racing debut. Okay, type of thing, right? I would like to do more flat track racing. I will, yeah, I might try to do some more flat track racing. Maybe it might be something fun for me, you know. I want to try dirt track, and Hawk Mazada has a new dirt track, so I want to try that out. Sounds like fun. All right, a dirt track is basically, it's like a motocross track without the jumps and stuff. All right, it's not all, you know, it's a flat track. All right, but it's dirt type of thing. And it's not an oval. All right, you're not going around in circles. It's got an actual course type of thing. I think I kind of would more dig that more. All right. But I tried the oval thing out, and it is very interesting. It's very interesting and challenging trying to get the bike to slide like that. And I think it's a valuable skill. Being able to slide your bike like, you know, like that, and knowing what to do when your bike slides, and how you can correct that and everything, I think is a valuable skill, and you can carry that onto like supermoto, motocross, and dirt biking and stuff. Yeah. Now all these skills are interconnected. Okay, that's what I say. All right. If you're riding like a dirt bike type of thing. All right. Okay, thanks for watching. Check out the race videos. I have a lot. I recorded a lot of footage of the racing, all right, of other people racing. So check those footage out, and check my race footage out. Just really check my race footage out. It's not gonna be very long, all right, guys. It's like flat track is like the shortest racing that you'll ever like. Short flat track, all right, or short track is like the fastest racing you'll do. Like you're done, all right. The only thing that's faster is maybe like the quarter mile or the 1/8 mile drag race. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. HadesOmega. I gotta buy a new fender now.